Hi. Um, Happy President's Day. I am doing this reaction live because I saw this article and I thought, wow, especially after the last upload where I discuss how how a birthright citizenship might have hurt me more than helped me in the United States. I was born in the United States in 1970. So here's another way my opinions might be different, and I don't have a political lean anymore. But I saw this web article called 50 Presidential Quotes That Inspire, Empower, and Celebrate the American Spirit. It's President's Day. It's February 17, 2025. It's a Monday. And um, well, let me just start. I am I patriotic? No, but I don't think any country is perfect. I just I started this channel because I was making a zine about how I became disabled and how people shouldn't. Well, no, I don't write about how people shouldn't make assumptions about people, but it hurts sometimes to hold a pencil. It hurts sometimes to draw and write. So it took so long, and I started this channel and the other channel um, to get stuff out there while I was spending so long on my zine. I My zine is now open source, so you can print out pages and staple them together. It's on my Buy Me a Coffee, but you don't have to pay. You don't have to buy me a coffee; it's for free. Um, so I will link it down below. But let's just start. I hope I can get through all of these. Number one in the article. It's women's world. Also, I'm not. I hope there's no copyright issues with this. I didn't write this. So, number one, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself by Franklin D. Roosevelt. I believe that if you've had extreme violence, many injuries after another without having medical care or having time between to rest and heal, um, there's much to fear besides fear itself. And that's same as in place if you're living during a war, if you're living in a place and during a disaster, natural or man-made. So that's my opinion on that. Two, no person was ever honored for what he received. Honor has been the reward for what he gave. Calvin Coolidge. Um, I think that's great, but I've helped people out in the past, and when stuff went bad for me, health issues and whatnot, housing issues, I didn't want anything to do with me. So um, I've given free English conversation class. I have cooked and taken care of people. I have let people stay at my place for free. Um, I also used to give like discounted body work when I was practicing Thai massage just yeah, that's the gist of it. Number 3, when there's a lack of honor in government, the morals of the whole people are poisoned. Herbert Hoover. I absolutely agree with that. 4, the best way to not feel hopeless is to get up and do something. Don't wait for good things to happen to you. If you go out and make some good things happen, you will fill the world with hope. You will fill yourself with hope. Barack Obama. So, I've been in pain all my life. It got worse. It got horrible in 2016, but um, during my performance career, I was in pain too. I was in pain and still art modeling, um, and I had a housing issue, not anywhere near what started in 2010, um, but landlords not giving heat all winter, getting sick and missing work, um, stuff like that. And I still had a performance career, even if it hurt. And actually, the muscle tissues gliding over each other kept my fascia system as healthy as can be, I guess, and also my yoga practice and yoga teaching. And I didn't wait until I was financially well, and I didn't wait until I didn't have pain. And I think, let's see, my performance career started when I was in 1997, and I say that like I guess I got paid for one project in 1994, but I don't really count it. Um, because it was more like a community thing, and the school was giving me the stipend. But people would say, why are you doing this? You should get your life in order. Um, my life is never in order, and maybe when I was 30, 31, 32, I was performing much. Um, Yes, I had a performance career while I was still working. I was art modeling because the arts don't pay very well in the United States. But I also, my PTSD was really bad. Most people don't. I didn't tell most people, but I was like people I rehearsed with, people I worked with, I didn't tell people, but I was hearing voices and I feel like somebody was touching like my arm or my neck when there's no one there. I'd hear laughter, evil laughter. I'd have nightmares of going to hell, um, and also meeting my abusers. So why didn't I wait for that to go away to start a performance career, to start working? I didn't. I don't know if my work, my artistic work gave anyone hope. I got a lot of competition. Every dance injury I have had is not from like my technique. It has to do with, mm, yeah, it has to do with other people, like slapping me on stage, um, wanting me to do something that's really unhealthy. And then once I had my knee injured in 2006, and just this past September, I was injured because of really, really bad working conditions, and the choreographer's assistant would just keep pushing me, really nasty. Um, so, yeah, I don't know if it brings hope, but um, it brought me hope. Um, and I had a really good time. Like not the bad stuff, but I think being on stage and being recognized, and I I had good reactions to my work, so I think that restored my self esteem somewhat, or maybe a lot. Okay, number five, I believe the declaration that all men are created equal is the great fundamental principle upon which our free institutions rest by Abraham Lincoln. I believe that schools, hospitals, clinics, social services, including shelters, supportive housing, I have been treated with contempt or just like dehumanization all my life. So I want to agree that all men are created equal. All men and women, I think, in this case, we all have the right to live, but um, yeah, I think these institutions aren't free. They pretend to be. They have like lofty ideals on their websites, but it's really messed up. We're living in, in a really bad time. Number six, be courteous to all, but imitate. Sorry, be courteous to all, but intimate with few, and let those few be well tried before you give him your confidence. True friendship is a plant of slow growth, and must undergo and withstand the shocks of adversity before it is entitled to the appellation by George Washington. I agree with this. I because I was, you know, well, I was literally told I was a human ashtray, and I'm owned. It's like all I knew until I got to high school. Um, so I was desperate for friends. I was desperate to be treated like a human being. That I did let people mistreat me, um, because they were saying, "Oh no, I'm not mistreating you. Oh no, I need this money to, but I'll give it." Money that was never given back. Um, so yeah, I should have had boundaries, but in my context, I did the best I can, and I have nothing to be ashamed of. Although I'm filled with anger and regret many times, especially now because I'm financially in need because of some health issues, and I need to relocate and I have to deal with immigration stuff. But anyways, yes, I agree with George Washington. Number seven, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. John F. Kennedy. Um, what can I do for my country? This country didn't protect me um, from my abusers. I was in elementary school, black eyes, bleeding from my mouth, bruises, migraines from concussions. Um, and I was just treated like a dirty Asian kid who spaced out. Um, the man who bought for my parents, bought time with me for my parents. Um, they were, I'm guessing, this is a guess, but I wouldn't put it past them that oh, I'm being so great helping out a poor family, poor immigrant family. You shouldn't buy children. Uh, what can I do for this country? I'm a citizen of this country. This, I don't have to go on for this one, right? 8. If we do not want to die together in war, we must learn to live together in peace. Harry S. Truman. I agree with it. Um, Number 9. Happiness is not in the mere possession of money. It lies in the joy of achievement, in the thrill of creative effort. By Franklin D. Roosevelt. I agree with that, but and I've always lived like that. But people have thought of me as they're a piggy bank because I work. I have really good work ethics, and then I'm disciplined with money. I'm not working now. I'm on disability, but and the messed up thing is the people who have financially exploited me, they're not happy, right? Exploiting me like that, screwing me over hasn't made them happy. With taking my money hasn't brought these people. Maybe they had a thrill of screwing me over and buying stuff for the time that they obtained something, but I'm a happier person, even if I'm in pain. I'm not in that much pain today. I went to acupuncture and I just lost. Okay. Number 10. A house divided against itself cannot stand. By Abraham Lincoln. I agree with that. Number 11. No man is worth his salt who is not ready at all times to risk his body, to risk his well-being, to risk his life in a great cause. By Theodore Roosevelt. I agree, kind of agree, but I don't agree. So like I said, I'm not in that much pain now, but yeah, my spine is a mess, and during the pandemic, people wanted me to. Well, they asked me to go to protests, of course, masked, and I just say, hey, if I get COVID or if I get injured, I don't have family or relatives that can look out for me, and I'm already in a lot of pain. Um, Maybe I didn't know how much pain I was in because I was still had a dancing career, a performance career. Uh, but also people have said, "Why aren't you working?" And I can't. At that time, I really couldn't. Um, and why can't I just get a job and reach? I can't lift 30 pounds. And if you saw what's going on with my spine, I can't. I so I cannot risk my well-being any more than this. My life. I mean, I was happy to die years ago when I was told by a psychic and an astrologer that I need to keep living because the world needs me. And I haven't forgotten about that. That's why I'm doing this. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this. I People assume things, and I need to get, like, for instance, like I have PTSD and my early life from birth till I was age 15 at homeless, and at age 16 and living in an apartment with a boyfriend, and like my life got better, but it was still not that great. Um, and people who don't know me well think that I have a substance issue. Like, how could I have been through all this and not have or they just assume because I couldn't get back on my feet, and you, you just I was made I think I was made to be one of the people who tells the truth. um okay. Number 12, we must support our rights or lose our character, and with it perhaps our liberties. Oh, we must support our rights or lose our character, and with it perhaps our liberties. I I have an issue with. I agree with this, but I have an issue with people who go to protests. Um, it's the easiest thing to do, and it's a social thing, and I think they believe that they can make change. But really, people who are able and people who are economically advantaged, they need to commit class suicide. Um, that's how that's how it works. I you can you can look online about that. How people need to commit class suicide for things to get not the poor people. You know, I'll leave it at that. Number 13, too often we enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought. John F. Kennedy. Bingo. That's just like um, the previous one. Not just like, it pertains to it. People have the opinion that protests work. If they really think about it, things have to change. Schools have to fire teachers, principals, doctors have to change the way they do things, and perhaps, it has a lot to do with the pharmaceutical companies. People don't think. They, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people stopped thinking and started be aligning themselves to a party or a set of beliefs. I think you need to think. I, I really do. Number 14, national character cannot be built by law. It's the sum of the moral fiber of its individuals, by Herbert Hoover. I believe that, um, but I also think that people are greedy these days. People are lazy these days. People are entitled these days. So even if they have the idea that that they're good people, they don't put work into it, and then those are the people who are not happy. So yes, national character, but also individual character. Um, you need to put work into yourself and not just have ideas. Number 15, the strongest of all governments is that which is most free, by William Henry Harrison. Um, in the United States, we have the freedom to do things like exploit um, exploit vulnerable people. And my parents had the freedom to um, assault me so that I have spinal injuries now. I mean, from before. Traffic me. The freedom to not not be adults, right? They had substance issues, alcoholics. They had this freedom partly because of their parents who would send them money, so they didn't have to work. But like just this freedom of being able to be drunk or wasted all the time and wreak havoc on other people's lives, I just I don't think freedom is that great. Um, please tell me what you think. Please comment below, or you can chat. We become not a melting pot, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams by Jimmy Carter. I like this. I wish it was more true. There's a lot of anti-Asian hate um, since I was born. And then the Jimmy Carter years too. Number 17. The nation which forgets its defenders will be itself forgotten by Calvin Coolidge. I um I won't comment on it. I I'm not pro military, or I'm not pro how much the military spends, and but um should Memorial Day be a thing? People lost family members and friends to war, so that's all I'll comment. Peace is more than just an absence of war. True peace is justice, true peace is freedom, and true peace dictates the recognition of human beings by Ronald Reagan. I wasn't happy when Reagan got elected, but I absolutely agree with this. I'm going to repeat it. Peace is more than just an absence of war. True is justice, true peace is freedom, and true peace dictates the recognition of human beings by Ronald Reagan. Okay, I absolutely agree. I don't agree with what he did during his presidencies. I just really like that quote. Free speech is exercised both individually and through a free press. Oh, speech is exercised both individually and through a free press. Oh, sorry. Free speech is exercised both individually and through a free press is a necessity in any country where people are themselves free by Theodore Roosevelt. I agree. I really do. Number 20. Whatever America hopes to bring to pass in the world must first come to pass in the heart of America. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Um, don't be a hypocrite. I absolutely think that's great. Don't be a hypocrite. 21. Conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth by John F. Kennedy. No comment. Number 22. When one of us falters, we all falter. When one of us rises, we all rise. Barack Obama. I agree with it. Um, I the very last upload I did, I oh my gosh, so much money wasted on MRIs and X-rays and physical therapy and nothing. I didn't get better. I if I wasn't, yeah, if I wasn't messed up so much, physically tortured, this wouldn't happen. If the school teachers said something about this wouldn't have happened. And of course, might be controversial, but last upload I spoke about how if I didn't have birthright uh, birthright citizenship, all of this wouldn't happen. Regardless of that, um, I think I could be doing a lot more, including something as simple as paying taxes. But also, I could have been doing a lot more if I wasn't so injured, so much pain. Uh, if I, didn't spend 14 years of like homelessness or dangerous housing, but maybe yeah, I would have been fine, and I would have been adding to the United States instead of taking from it. I don't think I'm a parasite. Still, number 23. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Theodore Roosevelt. What a load of crap. Bullshit. Um, I did a lot. I went to math and sciences high school. I could have gotten a scholarship. I My parents used me as a tax shelter, and I couldn't take that scholarship to go to a really good school. Um, lots, a lot of jobs I was ousted out because they didn't they didn't want an Asian person to excel at something. And like at yoga studios, when somebody's friend got certified, I was the one to go, even if I was the favorite teacher. Shit like that. Um, so believe you can and you're half. Oh, but they say halfway there. I also think you should add that doing screwed up things is not. It doesn't. If this has to do with patriotism, uh, being screwed up and calling it freedom, the freedom to do really messed up things, not good. 24. We can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorns have roses, by Abraham Lincoln. I. It's so weird. So my dance and performance career, I've done nude stuff. I've done stuff that maybe some people's parents wouldn't allow or be happy about. I made some work. Um, some of my work I made pretty efficiently and quickly. And I used to think I have an overactive imagination, but my history of abuse may have switched up my mind, wired my brain in a way to be like that, and also have these wild ideas. I made stuff where people say, "Oh, that's a good idea," even if it actually I was making it earnestly and I meant it, not like to be clever, but maybe. Tell me what you think. 25. It is easier to do a job right than to explain why you didn't, by Martin Van Buren. I absolutely agree with it. You know, I've been gaslighted a lot. Maybe you have too. Um, Wasting people's time and making a big story instead of doing their job right. 26. We should not look back unless it is to derive useful lessons from past errors and for the purpose of profiting by dearly bought experience. By George Washington. I think we can learn from history, learn from our past. 27. If we love our country, we should also love our countrymen. By Ronald Reagan. I agree with that. 28. I feel sorry for people who don't have a deep sense of compassion for their fellow man. Harry S. Truman. I I don't know. I don't feel sorry for people who have screwed me over, right? Taken my vulnerability and my weakness, um, and profit and gain from it, or use me as or try to use me as a piggy bank. Um, I don't feel sorry for them. I have some anger. I have some bitterness. 29. Democracy is not the building of a house, but the building of a nation. By Lyndon B. Johnson. Okay. Next. 30. Though our challenges are fearsome, so are our strengths. Americans have ever been a relentless, questioning, hopeful people. By Bill Clinton. It's like word salad to me. Um, Whatever. I This is really annoying. This one. I'll say it. Relentless, questioning, hopeful people. Word salad indoctrination. Um, yeah, I'll leave it at that. 31. Government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Abraham Lincoln. I think it's lofty ideal. 32. Our nation is shaped by the constant battle between our better angels and our darkest impulses. It is time for our better angels to prevail. Joe Biden. Um, it's kind of in line with the word salad that Bill Clinton said, I think. 33. I would rather belong to a poor nation that was free than to a rich nation that has ceased to be in love with liberty. By Woodrow Wilson. Well, hello. Um, I think that we're a rich nation that has ceased to be in love with liberty, and like in general. I know there's a whole amount of debt to China, the United States, and then some European countries. I think England. Yeah, but please comment about what you think about that. 34. We must not then depend alone upon the love of liberty in the soul of man for its preservation. By John Adams. I'm going to repeat that. We must not then depend alone upon the love of liberty in the soul of man for its preservation. By John Adams. Yeah, I think so. All that stuff I said about like freedom to be wasted and do screwed up things, freedom to um, damage. Um, and I think that that does um, chip away in a negative way at the soul of people, to do things just because they can get away with it, um, without any compassion. I agree with this one, John Adams. 35. I leave comparisons to history, claiming only that I have acted in every instance from a conscientious desire to do what was right, constitutional, within the law, and for the very best interests of the whole people. Failures have been errors of judgment, not of intent. By Ulysses Grant. I'm going to say okay to that. 36. Strong hearts and helpful hands are needed, and fortunately we have them in every part of our beloved country. William McKinney. There are people like that, but I think people like that are so disenfranchised that we can't do anything but survive. So shift the way money is spent. House the homeless, feed the hungry. There's lots of strong, intelligent, resilient people who need help, and we can be great advisors because of what we went through. 37. Too old to plant trees for my own gratification, I should do it for my posterity. By Thomas Jefferson. Um, yeah. Um, I think have a healthy social security system. I wouldn't be on social security benefits if somebody protected me and pulled me out of a really, really bad situation in my early life. Um, I would be paying into it instead of receiving benefits. Number 38. If we want to invest in the prosperity of our nation, we must invest in the education of our children so that their talents may be fully employed. By Bill Clinton. Hey, I studied to be an art teacher. I had a provisional certificate. I couldn't get a job because there was no arts programs in school. And then magnet schools came. And then charter schools with common curriculum. And it was a mess. And as an after school teacher doing programming, I met teachers who didn't have a pen or a pencil. I met teachers who couldn't read. I met teachers who really mistreated the kids in the programs that I was teachers to. Um, didn't let them go to the bathroom. Like, just since Bill Clinton said this, messed up things. And I agree with this quote, but what happened? 39. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Barack Obama. I'm going to say okay to that. Light itself, 40. Light itself is a great corrective. 1,000 wrongs and abuses that are grown in darkness disappear, like owls and bats before the light of day. By James A. Garfield. Um, I I want to believe that, but the wrongs and abuses. Um, I meditated for 1 hour a day, 2006, when my back wasn't so messed up. It had the same injuries, but I was much younger, and I was also doing yoga every day. I was a yoga teacher too, and I was also dancing, and my muscles were gliding, I guess, or they were moving. And and so like I was able to do dhyana meditation where I saw how my parents and all these structures and societies that screwed me over, very, very unhealthy, and how my whole life is part of the whole. And I guess it was like light. So my, hearing voices and nightmares, and feeling like somebody's touching me, all of that went away. But it didn't take away my injuries, and it didn't take away my height. I get triggered at times, um, from things that you might not, you know, that's not danger. Like if somebody has an umbrella and it lifts it overhead, or anything overhead, um, somebody being in my way, like blocking myself on purpose. Maybe they're just being assholes or being funny, but one of the men who bought me would block my way. I was 7 years old and I had to use the bathroom. I was trying to run out of the motel room. Shit like that. So um, I wonder if there'll ever be a light that makes my spine okay, so the nerves that go through it aren't pinched or messed up. I wonder if there'll ever be a light where I don't get triggered by stuff. Number 41. The law is the only sure protection of the weak and only efficient restraint upon the strong, by Millard Fillmore. I I don't want to answer that. Number 42. America is a great force for freedom and prosperity. Yet our greatness is not measured in power or luxuries, but who we are and how we treat one another. So we strive to be a compassionate, decent, hopeful society. By George Bush. I like this quote. I'm not a fan of his presidency. Men may die, but the fabric of our free institution remains unshaken. By Chester A. Arthur. All of the above. I What free institutions? Uh, they're really, really fucked up. That's all I'm gonna say. 44. History teaches perhaps very few clear lessons, but surely one such lesson learned by the world at great cost is that aggression, unopposed, becomes a contagious disease. By Jimmy Carter. I agree with that. 45. A people that values its privileges above the principles soon loses both. By Dwight D. Eisenhower. I absolutely believe that. Um, People who have pretty cushy lives, but they don't want to give up any of their lives because they think that they're the poor ones. They have serious existential issues. Um, you know, I in my homelessness, years of homelessness, people who can't tell, um, they they have affluenza basically. They don't know they have affluenza, but they do, and they're unfulfilled. I mean, I met people who are unfulfilled, and they saw me being prolific in art, in the arts, in the performing arts, and being able to do stuff. I put a lot of work into everything I did. I Yeah, so they can say that the altruistic people. A big one is environmental depression, environmental doom depression. Mhm. When the pandemic, when everybody was vaxxed, I had access to this conference, um, this Project Drawdown conference. Project Drawdown is is an organization that puts together real, actual things that you can do every day, whether you're an individual or you're you're in you're in a corporation, like whatever industry you're in, to lower greenhouse gases. And around, I think it was 2020, late 2021, I reached out to people who have posted on their social media about this environment depression that they're getting, and this doom. And I said, hey, do you want to host watching parties? Because I have access to streaming live. And they said yes, but they couldn't plan anything with me. They couldn't get back to me. So they chose being depressed or feeling doom over actually making plans with me to make a watch party. So and the way they spend money and the way they do things, um, that's how you're depressed. You feel powerless. So yeah, I'm gonna repeat the quote. A people that values its privileges above its principles soon loses both. By Dwight D. Eisenhower. 46. The life of a republic lies certainly in the energy, virtue, and intelligence of its citizens. Andrew Johnson. Um, yeah, it pertains to the one before. Like, if you lower your energy with your lifestyle, and the, the school system is a mess, education is a mess, people don't like to read. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go to the next one. 47. We are bound together by the most powerful of all ties, our fervent love for freedom and independence, which knows no homeland but the human heart, by Gerald Ford. I'm going to read it again. We are bound together by the most powerful of all ties, our fervent love for freedom and independence, which knows no homeland but the human heart, by Gerald Ford. It sounds like word salad to me. 48. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing, and the worst thing you can do is nothing. By Theodore Roosevelt. I don't like this. Um, I think doing nothing is better than doing the wrong thing. 49. It is the American sound. It is hopeful, big-hearted, idealistic, daring, decent, and fair. That's our heritage. That's our song. We sing it still, by Ronald Reagan. Is that the Star Spangled Banner? I don't know. I I also think this is some kind of propaganda word salad. But maybe I'm wrong. Please comment below if you can explain this to me. And finally, 50. If freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep to the slaughter, by George Washington. I agree with that. So, that was that. Um, Happy President's Day. I hope you had a good day. And this is filtered through somebody with PTSD, spinal injuries from being assaulted just about every day between age 6 and age 12, 13, 14. Like after I was 12 years old or so, I was too. I was, you know, they. I was. It was too much of a pain to pick me up and throw me into walls or like body slime or put me in a throw me down the stairs. But the filter through somebody who has that kind of spinal injury and an abnormal MRI. Although I don't have dementia, and I was told I don't have dementia. Um, so happy President's Day. Um, I don't. It's just hard. I don't know how to stop this. How do I stop? Oh, end. Okay, goodbye. Please comment. Um, I know I must have said things that are maybe controversial. Please comment. I'd like to know.